Hello and welcome to another DMI Team Talk. This week we're looking at the power of email marketing. So this is going to be a run through some current statistics around email marketing, where it's going in the future, and maybe how you can bring it in as one of the key channels for your particular business. Just to introduce myself, I'm Sean here, tutor at the DMI. So I'll start by looking at kind of some broad statistics and information around email marketing. If we go back 43 years now at this point, to 1978, we actually will find the first ever email marketing campaign, which was from DEC Machines. They sold computers at the time. They don't exist anymore. That particular campaign actually generated 13 million in sales. But moving on from there, we have now seen email marketing usage grow considerably with 3.8 billion users now worldwide estimated. And we send about 120 trillion emails every year. It's set to grow actually to 126.7 this year. And generally, you will find with email marketing that it's actually still growing. While the amount of users may not be growing as much, exponentially, we do see though that the use of email marketing is growing year on year and has been for every year since 1978. And this is a growth more so of the amount of emails that we send and receive as customers. So you see here 13 commercial emails on average reach our inboxes every day. Another very important thing to keep in mind about email marketing is actually its return on interest as a digital marketing channel. So a conservative figure here, actually taken from a number of surveys and a number of research documents put together, is that the average return or ROI is $38 for every $1 spent. 66% of customers have actually made a purchase as a result of receiving an email marketing communication of some kind. So again, a massively engaging medium. And we're seeing now still, even in 2021, that email marketing outperforms social media, SEO, and affiliate marketing in terms of its ability to produce a positive ROI, but also just in terms of effectiveness if you're kind of driving traffic or trying to promote engagement. So it's a massively, massively important channel. We're just looking here at just some key figures to give that a little bit more context, if you like. So if you look at the average engagement rate across all social media channels, so we're taking Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter together here for this, but it's actually 0.58% average engagement. If you want to compare that with email marketing, we see that over 22% of emails sent from email marketing campaigns are opened, and there's a click-through rate on links in email marketing campaigns almost at 4%. This graph here is showing us the ROI in relation to other channels. So we see it's still outperforming organic search, content marketing, paid search, and affiliate marketing, and significantly so. And to be clear, what this graph is showing us is that's the return on the overall cost of the resources put into email marketing, as opposed to, let's say, your spend, your dollar spend. So we should look at where email marketing fits in now. It actually fits into every segment of the customer journey, but its most common uses are for what we see here on the screen: traffic generation, awareness, lead nurturing, and revenue generation. So it's really, really effective for promoting any high value content that you have on your website or moving people towards a specific web page. It's really effective at the top of the funnel for keeping top of mind with your customers, contacting them on a regular basis and making sure they're aware of any promotional activity that's going on. It's obviously very effective at nurturing leads, and this could be either customers that have spent with you already or people who are at the consideration stage for a long time. And it's really good at moving those high intent leads towards conversion on your website or towards some kind of action. And in terms of revenue generation, again, we're thinking of ROI now. It's still one of the most effective channels there is. It allows you to target existing customers, to upsell and cross-sell, Or you can actually be quite specific with who you target and where you move them towards. So you can actually send emails to people who say abandoned cart on your e-commerce store, for example. So highly effective. If we look specifically though at Gmail ads, which is probably the most common pay channel for email marketing, we should actually just kind of break down the capabilities of that channel and what it can do for us. So we can actually run campaigns to any part of the funnel through Gmail ads. So with the objectives, campaign objectives of either sales, creating more leads or creating leads for sales, driving web traffic, getting people to consider your product or brand, and achieving brand awareness. They're all campaign objectives within Gmail ads. But your actual targeting options we should look at too, because they can be very specific. We don't just need to be sending out emails to our current customer base. If we're using paid Gmail campaigns, we can actually take a similar audience, which is uploading your current audience and having Gmail using kind of AI and different algorithmic things, basically find a similar audience to your current audience. But we can also remarket, and retarget. So we can target people with email campaigns who have been on our website, like I referred to on the last slide. And we can actually target people who are in market. This is common across other various Google ad options. But basically, if someone's in market, they're searching and using search terms in and around your product and service. So we can actually get an email to them. Affinity, that's people who are generally in the category of what you sell. And then we can be quite specific. We can actually target people with Gmail ads who are searching certain keywords. And then obviously we can actually target them by demographic, so by location, by age, by gender as well, where it's relevant. So a very specific set of targeting options if you also go through the paid route. There are differences between B2B email marketing and B2C. And we have some key statistics here to kind of illustrate what those might be. Now, if we're looking at business to business emails, there's a few key things we see that we don't see with the kind of regular customer emails or direct emails. Emails that are triggered by an action perform 3 times better than nurture emails or drip campaigns. Okay, now this is specifically for business to business. So in other words, if somebody comes onto your company website and they themselves are from a business which you target, and you are, as we illustrated in the last slides, you are setting up these automated emails that go out to them for downloading a brochure or taking action on the website, you'll have 3 times more of a chance of getting an open there and getting people to perform an action as a result of that email. Say drip campaigns would refer to the steady automated emails that are for your entire customer base. That's one thing to keep in mind if you're in B2B and you're running email marketing campaigns. And for 86% of professionals, email is their preferred communication channel. Okay, now that is larger than B2C. Okay, so that is people during the day, during working hours, logging in, checking their work email or even their own personal emails, but it's their preferred communication channel, and we can probably all make sense of that. It's got to, it's got to do with controlling your own time, having a more quality long form information, and so on. The click-through rates on email in the B2B sector are actually far higher than B2C. They're 47%. Now, a lot of that might be to do with the fact that work-related emails that you get are going to be of more interest. There's going to be less of them, but it's worth keeping in mind if you're including links in campaigns when you're B2B marketing. And we also see that subject lines with emojis accounted for an increase of over 56% actually for brand emails. And that's worth keeping in mind if you're B2B marketing. And it's something that also comes into B2C marketing. But it's relevant here to note that even in the professional space, it's still something that will give your open rates a big boost. Now let's look at B2C marketing in comparison. Well, 78% of consumers have unsubscribed from lists because a brand was sending too many emails. So think about it from the customer's perspective also, okay? This is actually quite different to what we looked at on the previous slide. So here what we're seeing is when people are the customer, they actually do not like to be subscribed to too many different companies and be receiving too many email communications. And we've probably all had this experience. So keep that in mind when you're designing a flow for email campaigns and you're thinking of the frequency of how often you'd like to send your customer emails. But we see that over 90% of customers check their emails daily still. Right, so this is a kind of massive percentage of people coming onto their mobile devices, laptop devices, regardless of which day of the week it is, and checking their emails on a constant basis. So, in terms of, we talked about the growth of email, this is another contributing factor to that. People are actually logging in, checking their inboxes more often. And we see that email subscribers are 3 times more likely to share social content than others. Now, what we're talking about here specifically is if someone is subscribed to your business, the customer is more likely to actually share content on your social channels. They're in that kind of subsection of being brand loyal or more engaged, but that's relevant if you have a social media marketing campaign because you can integrate some kind of email communication there into that. You can be kind of mobilizing people to share your content and improve your social media marketing efforts as well. To look at trends this year and going forward, we're seeing some things grow in email marketing, and they're going to become increasingly important to any of you running campaigns. The first one is micro segmentation. Now, this has a lot to do with breaking people into smaller groups and targeting them with more specific content. So we're sending, or we can send, different emails to people who abandoned cart, like we referred to earlier. People who have made past purchases could be getting different types of content, and people who have just had a general interaction with your website, or maybe even just downloaded some particular resource, a free download or a trial. Or we can actually even target people by the products and the services that they've searched for. And what you should be doing really to be competitive in email marketing in 2021 is availing of the technology that allows you to do this, the CRM systems that you can integrate with your email marketing. And you should be designing different email flows for your customers based on what stage of the funnel that they're at. So previously, you didn't have this kind of capability, and you might be sending out a kind of generic email to all subscribers. But now really your consideration should be, what content can I get to what people at what stage of the funnel? We've all experienced these emails. It might be thank you for your purchase and some kind of upsell or cross-sell email. It might be, if an email to say we haven't seen you for a while, or something to entice you back in. But just bear in mind that you should be segmenting your audience in a way that makes sense for your business down by parts of the funnel, and you should be designing content specifically for them. The next point leads into this, but it's a slightly different point. It's hyper personalization. Okay, so we now have better access to data overall that allows us to send better communication and personalize it to the actual user. And this is relevant for both B2B and B2C email marketing. So now what we can do is we can take the data that we capture through people browsing on our website or coming through our social channels and incorporate it into the communication of the email. And that's the key point here when we say hyper personalization. We're talking about the content of the email and personalizing it to the person. And this is actually made more sophisticated and more doable by another point we're going to look at now in a second, which is the use of AI. But another key thing for anyone taking email marketing very seriously, in 2021 and going forward, is actually email automation. For any business, even a small business, there's a lot of resources that would go into, personalizing emails, segmenting audiences, keeping track of who's doing what on your website, how to integrate that with other channels. So you want to automate all those processes. Okay, so whether it's welcome emails, cart abandonment emails, or emails to re-engage, these can all be set up with automatic triggers, okay, through your website using CRM tools. So this is something you should be looking at if you're going to take the whole process seriously, and also if you're going to properly divide out your own time on your email marketing activities. I refer to this, but as a growing trend now, which is AI-driven email marketing. So what's actually possible now is to use AI in conjunction with the CRM system to predict customers' interactions with your business going forward, or to predict what type of content they will like, what types of products or services they will like based on their behavior. And now the example we have here is from Netflix, and has uh, emailed a customer here with a brand new show that's just gone live on Netflix, and they're emailing the customer automatically, but based on that customer's behavior on the Netflix platform. So that's another layer of sophistication you can build into your email marketing. It's probably at this point in time a lot more accessible to larger companies like multinationals, but like any technology, it will become more relevant to all businesses given time. So it's something to keep in mind, even if you're a small business going forward. A few tips and pointers for those of you who are setting up your first email marketing campaigns, or indeed already have marketing campaigns that you run on a regular basis. Now, we touched on this point, but personalizing your email without using the recipient's name. So what are we talking about here? Well, actually, in the last few years, there was a move towards making sure you use the recipient's name within the beginning of the email. And we now see a move away from that. To explain it further, a lot of these CRM tools and tools such as MailChimp, they allowed you to bring in your customer's first name and really personalize the email. And this actually, it used to drive engagement more. But as the rise of these CRM systems, the rise of in adoption of these CRM systems and tools increases, we see that people are now more engaged by something that's personalized, but not specifically using their name. So hence the point here on the slide. So definitely try to make your emails and your email marketing campaigns personalized, but perhaps test whether using the recipient's name or just using some personalized information about them actually is a better approach. We see through a composite of studies that actually the subject line and the brevity of the content of your email affects click-through rates and open rates in different measures. And overall, what we see is long subject lines are actually better for click-through rates on email, whereas short subject lines are better for opens. So have a think around what it is that your business does. What product or service is it that you sell? Is it more important for you to have opens, such as a brand awareness type email campaign objective, or are you looking for click-throughs, like a traffic campaign objective? If you're more veering towards a traffic campaign objective, consider longer subject lines. If you're simply looking for more opens of your email, look for shorter subject lines, and that's the key point here. In terms of timing and when to send your emails, you will find a lot of information around this. You could find specific information for your industry or your type of company. Overall, the general best time to send an email, regardless of industry or business type, is actually at nighttime. Between 8 p.m. and midnight is the prime time to send an email. But you do need to test and refine this for your own business. The reason why it's 8 p.m. to 12 midnight is because basically that's when people receive less emails, but as we discussed, people are now checking in on their emails more often. So ideally, regardless of what industry you're in, when you're testing for yourself when is the best time to send an email, consider when your competitors are not sending emails, but when your customers are still engaged and still logging into their inbox. One of the best ways, as a tip, one of the best ways to get people to subscribe or open your emails or engage more with your email marketing is to provide free content of some kind. And actually, use of the word free in subject lines is something there's a lot of information on. But free content such as a free sample, a free ebook, for example, these things drive open rates a lot more. So consider that when you're kind of designing the flow of your campaign. And also this last point here kind of relates a little bit to the time when you spend your email, but remember to mobile optimize your emails. Now, I talked about in the previous point, people opening their emails at nighttime. They're predominantly doing this on their mobile devices. So this is something to consider. Consider the customer journey as it relates to your email campaign. So if you are going to send emails at night, make sure they're mobile optimized, but you should be mobile optimized in general because mobile opens account for 47% of all emails opened. And mobile optimized refers to font size. If you use an image, make sure that image is going to be not too large to open on a mobile device, or that it fits into your email properly, and so on. So you need to it's almost half of your emails from your email marketing campaigns are being opened on mobile. So you need to give it equal consideration in terms of design and how it's going to look for the user when they open it up. For those of you that are not yet engaged with email marketing, here's just a few quick tips if you're getting started, okay? So the first thing you should do is you should be, if you have digital marketing channels that you operate off already, you should be integrating email into all your channels. This is quite simple to do. You can start with simply putting a subscribe button on your website, and you can have regular posts on your social media channels pushing people towards some kind of landing page for subscribing, or giving people more context on why to subscribe. But if you're starting now and you're trying to build up your email subscribers and you're starting from scratch, here's a few key points to keep in mind. You want to run and we want to bring people in with a reason for them to subscribe. If you're letting them know that you run email series of information, and that's the best way to learn more about your business on a regular basis, that's one way you can draw them in. Free downloads, as we referred to before, or some free content, is another reason for people to actually be incentivized to subscribe. Free white papers or ebooks as well, for an example. If people want to keep up to date with your product releases or product updates, this is another great reason for them to subscribe and receive regular emails. And there's a few industries actually where that's more relevant than others. But if you're in the type of industry that might have a discount, seasonal discounting, and so on, this is hyper relevant, for example. But also you can incentivize people in the traditional way, so competitions and promotional details. And remember to make email marketing overall a key cog in the kind of machine of what you do with all your channels. So again, be linking it to your social channels and to your website if you're just getting started. And also, just the best free tools on the market for those of you who are in a very small business or getting started on your own business with email marketing. MailChimp, HubSpot, and Sender are generally the best free tools. They have free trials at least, and they're certainly more than enough for a lot of small and medium-sized businesses. If you're looking for more information on how to get started with email marketing for your business, you could do worse than go to our membership platform, because there's going to be a wealth of information in there, very detailed and maybe even specific to your business. Now, we've just picked a few here that you might start with, but we actually have a podcast at the moment in our podcast section, The Art and Science of Email Marketing. We have a actual walkthrough video of how to use MailChimp. So again, MailChimp is free if you're getting started. Maybe what you might want to do is start your free trial with MailChimp and actually open up the walkthrough video there. And that might be a well-spent morning or afternoon where you can actually set up your first email marketing campaigns. We have an article on there that's a practical guide to email marketing metrics. So that's actually something that you should be familiarizing yourself with, open rates, how to measure them against industry standards, how important are they, click-through rates, and so on. You need to obviously understand all the terminology going forward. We have a very effective toolkit as well for email content and a copywriting checklist. This might save you a lot of time, particularly if you're in a smaller business and you're going to be writing the content, or you don't have a lot of resources to do that. And we also have a very good case study in there, the Skim, and it's making email cool again. And making it more relevant again. But that's just a small selection. If you're looking for a free trial of our membership platform, you can actually visit our website and you'll find it quite easily. So there's a trial in there for at least 7 days, and you can go into the resources library, and it might just help you launch your email marketing campaigns and win more customers going forward. But I hope you enjoyed this kind of synopsis of email marketing in 2021, and I hope to see you all again for our next DMI Team Talk, which is coming later this month. So thanks for joining us. Take care. We'll see you all soon.